You need more gear than some of these open guys are saying. Just straight up. What is up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Today's ASMR sip is 1907water.com. Coupon code Russo. ASMR Spritz Intelligent Elephant Carbon code Russo. All other discounts in the pinned comment down below. To support this channel, please hit the like button. Really does help me a lot. All right, today I'm ranting. The big boy cycle liars. There's tons of arguments about how PEDs should be presented. Should the blatant truth be presented? Should the half truth be presented? Or should we all just shut the fuck up and think that the younger generation isn't gonna figure out, doesn't have access to this information? First off, they have access to this information better than any other generation before, and the hormone disruption of so many different things in the environment, the technology causing hormone disruption, their lifestyles being completely different than previous generations. I mean, hormones are definitely a big topic, right? So they are going to be seeking information way more than the previous generations because that information exists. I remember when I started, it was pretty much reading in the forums, right? Some people were getting online and the data was getting more organized, but you didn't really know what these people look like. That's why I always stepped on camera, despite me being not the genetically best person. At least you got to see the person behind it, their results, their progress, blah, blah, blah. And over time, we have seen PEDs explode as far as being open, honest, transparent in the fitness industry. When I started in the fitness industry, I was like the only one just blurting out my cycles because I wasn't up to have my contract revoked. It used to be very hush hush. Now it is open, and it's getting to the point where when is it going to be crazy open as far as some of these open bodybuilders are concerned and some of these extreme juice heads are concerned? The big argument of factor these days is that these cycles to achieve the crazy physiques, I'm talking about pro open bodybuilding, are dumbed down for harm mitigation. And certain individuals would like the truth to be revealed completely. If I was to compete in open, which I never would, with perfectly healthy body, not my shitty fucked up body I have now, but a perfectly healthy body, I would need 3 grams of gear, probably 2.5 grams of gear, and I would need to do those sorts of cycles, and I would probably need upwards of, again, 5 to 10 IUs of GH, good GH, and I would need to push my body down that path if I had aspirations to accumulate that much tissue. For me personally, that's what I think I would need to creep up to eventually, and there's nothing wrong with me stating that. There are guys out there that are that size taking that amount of gear, potentially higher, and RIP Boston Lloyd, right? This is why I have so much respect for Boston Lloyd, because he was exposing some of the crazy, we'll put in quotes, death cycles that were going on in open bodybuilding. I'm not here to judge, right? This is being open and honest, but I think there is a grain of respect of like, hey, I don't want some younger person to directly copy this extreme amount of damage. I've made up my mind over the years of, if you love something, let it kill you, Rich Piana quote. There's that element of like, I'll just say I'm doing like, 1.5 grams of gear when I'm closer to 3 grams of gear to achieve these extremely crazy, non-maintainable physiques that are very detrimental to your health. At this point, when you are the guru, the PD coach, you are reading their blood work, knowing the blood work's going to be fucked up, and you're seeing how far you can push the organs and what's all getting out of whack during these blasts, right? It's not like the 350 test with a little something on top. Like, you're talking a serious performance-driven guy who's aspirations are to compete in open. He's eating perfectly to even maintain an open physique, and his drug protocol needs to match the food to accumulate the amount of tissue needed to even stand next to some of the other elite open bodybuilders. This is why open bodybuilding is so popular. It is so difficult. It's such a balancing act, and overall it's the most extreme performance. There's no rules in it. It's not like this is like, oh, they're breaking the rules by using that much gear. That's what makes bodybuilding so attractive, is there's no rules. These sort of cycles are starting to creep out, and I see certain individuals discussing them. And there is a weird thing with me where it's like, okay, I know people are going to start to copy these extreme dosages. Do I care? No. I think that these individuals who are showcasing these cycles, and this is going to be more prevalent as time goes on, because you need more gear than some of these open guys are saying. Just straight up. I'm never one to, I wanted to build a classic physique. I wanted to keep it pretty minimal because I can't get that big. I don't respond like that. But for the guys who do respond like that and haven't been lying, I definitely think they should showcase the extreme amount of side effects that they will get over time of accumulation of those cycles, right? Acutely, I think you can get away with a couple of those blasts. But as those blasts continue over a couple years, those years turn into dog years at that amount of gear used per week. And there's nothing wrong with that if this is the sport of your choosing. I mean, we have UFC fighters suffering horrendous brain damage. We have CTE in football. This needs to be showcased on the extreme damage. And I don't like talking about this, but when we look at Dallas McCarver, right? We don't know what Dallas McCarver, all his cycles were. All we know is that he was on the path to be the fastest Mr. Olympia champion potentially ever. And he set the new standard on how fast you could actually grow if you just threw health out the window. There's no way the guru could save him if he was pushing that hard. And that's why the older pros are like, grow slow. It takes time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So when these big boy cycles get out and the lying stops, which it will, the truth will always reveal itself. And that's why I'm not sitting here like these guys should stop. I'm not saying these guys should stop. I'm saying these guys should be very apparent on the extreme damage of going to these crazy amounts, aka over 2 grams of gear. It's not that uncommon for an open bodybuilder to push it that high for certain individuals. I've seen plenty of cycles like that. I don't personally talk about cycles like that on here because I've never went anywhere near there. I don't know what it's like to be anywhere upwards of that. I seriously don't. And I don't plan on exploring that because of my genetics. I don't think I would respond to become a good open pro or even respond to that amount of gear at all. I'll have Andrew throw up my 250-pound physique at 23. I think that's pretty much, I don't think adding all gear on top of that would have really made a difference. I think that's just how my genes look, but I think other individuals who are competing in open, which you don't realize, like that 250-pound look, if I was to compete in open, I'd have to look at that body fat and be like 270, 280 and then come back down cutting. So you can see why you would need even higher dosages than what I used on my biggest blast I've ever done. But what do you guys think when the big boy dosages come out for the youth? Or for people realizing like, it's not just TRT. I've been lied to this entire time. These are the dosages some of these guys are using. And this is what's needed to create the physique that I'm looking at all the time on Instagram. Should I go down this darker road that causes way more damage? Are they going to know that there are levels to this? And once you're pushing that hard, it's like a race car. It's like a tuner car, right? You can push it that hard, but there's more wear on the engine. There's more wear on the turbo. And we all know that it comes to an end a little bit faster. What are your thoughts? I'll see you guys in my next video.